Yeah, I understand.
It is 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February the 4th, and I call to order the City of Lewisville Planning and Zoning Commission. First item on the agenda is the call to order and announce we do have a quorum present. The next item on business is approval of the minutes. Commissioners?
Move to approve.
Motion by Fran.
Second.
Second by Ainsley. Vote now. Motion carries. Next item of business are three regular hearings. The first regular hearing is the final plat of GTM Edition Block 6, or Lot 6, Block A, on 2.005 acres out of the VR Sutton Survey, abstract number 1153, zoned light industrial district, located at 1102 and 1110 East State Highway 121 Business, 25-101-2-FP.
Good evening, Commissioners. This plat was submitted on January the 7th and reviewed by staff. There's listed deficiencies in the memo in the backup this evening, and staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove the final plat of the GTM Edition Lot 6 Block A for the deficiencies listed and delegate to staff the authority to accept and approve the plat once the listed deficiencies are corrected. The approved plat will be brought to the chair for signature.
Thank you, Michelle. Commissioners, questions, comments? If not, I'll take a motion.
Motion to disapprove the final plat due to deficiencies and delegate to staff the authority to accept and approve the plat when deficiencies are corrected.
Motion by Rick, second by Jack. Vote now. Motion carries 6-0. Next regular hearing, the final plat of Mystic Multifamily, Lot 1, Block A, on 7.667 acres out of the Singleton Survey, abstract number 1138, zoned plan development, multifamily 3 district located to the northwest of Lady Betty Drive and Kings Court Drive intersection. 25-01-1-FP.
Good evening again. Similarly, this plat was submitted on January the 7th. It's been reviewed and deficiencies are listed in the memo and backup. Staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove the final plat of Mystic Multifamily for the deficiencies listed and delegate to staff the authority to accept and approve the plat once the listed deficiencies are corrected. The approved plat will be brought to the chair for signature.
Commissioners, questions, comments?
I have one. Can you describe what the water and sanitary sewer easement removal is all about?
Yes. Give me 1 second here. Okay. There are, okay. Let me pull up the full set of comments here. There are several easements that were not shown that are required, and there are some easements that were shown that are no longer necessary that need to be removed from the plat. So, specifically, there's a sanitary sewer easement where there's no sewer present or needed. So we don't need that. Similarly, the water easement that is with that, we're not really sure why those were added.
But all infrastructure needs are covered?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
I'll take a motion.
Motion to disapprove the plat due to deficiencies and delegate to staff the authority to accept and approve the plat when deficiencies are corrected.
Second.
Motion by Ainsley, second by Francesca. Vote now. Motion carries 6-0. The third regular hearing, final plat of Quail Crest Edition Lot 2R Block H on 1.035 acres out of the Jesse Watkins Survey. Abstract number 1323, Zone General Business District, located on the west side of Edmonds Lane, approximately 198 feet south of West Purnell Street, being a replat of Quail Crest Edition, Lot 2, Block H, 25-01-3-RP.
Good evening, Commissioners. Staff has reviewed this plat and found a list of deficiencies. Staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission disapprove Quailcrest Edition for all the deficiencies listed in the memo and delegate staff the ability to accept and approve once they all have been corrected.
Thank you, Jonathan. Commissioners, questions, comments? Entertain a motion.
I move to disapprove the final plat due to the deficiencies and delegate to the staff the authority to accept and approve once these deficiencies are corrected.
Motion by Francesca, second by Rick. Vote now. Motion carries 6-0. The next item of business is a public hearing. It's a public hearing in the consideration of a recommendation of amendments to Volume 2 of the Lewisville City Code, known as the Unified Development Code, by amending Article 3, Development and Zoning Procedures, Chapter 5, Plats, by granting the planning director the authority to approve with conditions or disapprove plats. Commissioners, questions?
Commissioners, Lewisville's current development processes require that plats be brought forward to you for approval with conditions, or disapproval within 30 days of that first submission. As we've witnessed 3 times tonight, this typically results in staff bringing a plat for disapproval with all the deficiencies noted by staff to be approved at a later time when all the deficiencies have been corrected. Back in 2023, the Texas Local Government Code gave City Council the ability to delegate an employee of a municipality, in this case the planning director, the authority to approve with conditions, or disapprove any plat. Tonight we're recommending this change. If amended, Lewisville's Unified Development Code will require that all plats meet the same standards that we are reviewing them today, and the director will have the ability to present any plat to you, the Planning and Zoning Commission, though we do not feel that this will happen often. It will also allow the applicant the ability to appeal any decision of the planning director to the Planning and Zoning Commission, and in turn appeal any decision by you to the City Council. Updating this process will simplify our development process and potentially save the time of the applicant, of everyone here tonight, and staff. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about this.
Questions, comments?
Yes, I think I heard you correctly, but this is an efficiency process item, correct?
Right.
To make the process more efficient.
Right, so most P&Z meetings we're bringing plats for, and it's always, I can think of a single case where we've had approval, but we review them and then you have to disapprove them and give us the authority. Essentially, this is just making it where we no longer have to bring the plats forward to you.
So does that mean plats would never come through P&Z again unless there was an appeal?
They would never come again unless the planning director wanted to bring them forward to you for any reason.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to have been, let me start over again. There seems to have been a time several years ago several months ago, let's put it that way, where a plat would come forward and there would be some discussion. And there was, sometimes it was disapproved, sometimes it wasn't. And I've noted that recently, for several months, we've had this issue of disapproval. And I'm beginning to understand, thank you for the explanation on that. Are we, by taking this approach, are we giving up any of the opportunity for P&Z as a commission to do our job in reviewing the plats that come forward, not only for the deficiencies, but also for just the basic reasons that we're a planning and zoning commission?
So regarding plats, they're all held to our same development standards, and it's become just a, every evening we're just, P&Z, we're reviewing them to the same standards, and they typically have the same issues, and we're bringing them forward to you. Now, as far as typically with a zoning case or something of that nature, which gives you more authority to approve that, the plats, if they're meeting our development code, they're just approved at that point. And so I'm not trying to circle around this. I don't see an instance with our plats, because ultimately we're just reviewing them to our development code. And if they're meeting our development code, then they're approved at that point.
I think the important distinction is a plat is a ministerial action, which means a plat is required by state law to be approved. If it meets all of the development code ordinances, there's no discretion in those approvals.
Thank you.
And so an applicant, if they feel we've interpreted if we've done something incorrect, does still have the option to appeal to this board. But since the state law changed to where we've been bringing them to you for disapproval, we've had some discussion of can we clarify what's happening on this plat? Like, what is the issue with it? Most of the time, a lot of the issues with plats are simply they didn't show the correct information, or they've gotten some details of it wrong that they need to correct. And so we haven't had many that haven't been disapproved and delegated to staff. I can't really think of one where it didn't end up getting disapproved or delegated to staff. I don't know that we've had one be approved.
We've had one.
We've had one that was approved off the bat.
So prior to the Texas code change 3 or 4 years back, we only took plats forward to you. Once they've gone through the approval process, we're basically just saying they met all of our standards, and then you would approve them. With this new process, Karen would still be ultimately signing off on the plats once or whoever the planning and zoning chairperson is, would still be signing off ultimately on the plats. But we hold all plats to the same development standards.
So I'm just curious. I mean, you've had, since this passed a couple of years ago, as I remember, because I think I had just started, and I remember when the state amended the process so it could be approved by the city. You didn't have to bring it before the P&Z. Someone delegated could do it. And you waited quite a while to do that. Was there some reason why you waited so long? Or I'm just curious did something happen?
It just wasn't the number one pressing priority.
I'm sorry, what?
It just wasn't our most pressing priority.
Okay, well, that's fair.
Much like trees, the second best time is right now.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
And we aren't giving up any of our deliberative or our role as appointed.
So when the state code changed, you're seeing the plats in a very early review, right? You're seeing them after the first round of comments. And before that, you were seeing them after we had already gone through the process. So you're seeing, when you bring them forward to you, where they're basically at the most rough they are in the development process, because we have the most comments we do on the first submittal. Typically, plats will go through 3 rounds of review, sometimes more, but typically it's 3 rounds of review till we're ready to approve it. And since the state, when you've given staff the ability, we're still going through back and forth with the applicant to make sure it meets all the standards. We're just not bringing it forward to you every step along the way after you've delegated this to us.
Excellent. Anyone else? In that case, I will open the public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak on this, please come forward, state your name and your address, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Commissioners, further comment?
Is this normal and customary for other cities to do this? And if so, what other cities would we be following?
I think the vast majority of cities are either in the process of approving this or already have approved this, just for efficiency. One efficiency is, if all we have is plats on the agenda, we don't really have to have a meeting. So we've had unnecessary meetings just because the 2019 state law, we call it the shot clock law. State law mandates that a plat has to be acted on in 30 days. And that's when we came up with this long clause that allows y'all to delegate to us the authority to approve it once all those deficiencies are done. Previous to 19, you saw, like John mentioned, you saw it at the very end of the process because there wasn't a 30-day shot clock. So that's what changed things. And for many years, staff had the ability to approve some plats. I believe amending plats were allowed as long as there wasn't infrastructure involved with it. I believe it's like no more than 5 lots and they're fronting on an existing street and no major extension of utilities. We have had some like that staff has already approved. And again, a plat is really a very black and white. There's no discussion, there's no leeway. You either meet our checklist of items or you don't. And that's why they don't when they come to you this first time, because this is really the first time we've seen it and we're just attaching the list. So moving forward, the motions that y'all make is exactly what I will be stating to them. I'll be disapproving those plats at that 28-day mark, 29-day mark, whatever it comes up to be. And then we'll continue through the process until such time they've addressed all the comments, and then it can be finalized.
Okay. So this is a good thing for the citizens and the businesses, correct?
Yes, for the applicants, yes.
For the applicants.
It does save them some time.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to be heard? If not, I will close the public hearing. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, motion to grant the planning director the authority to approve with conditions, or disapprove plats.
Okay?
Second.
Motion by Rick,
Second by Josh.
second by Joshua.
Just to clarify, the recommendation tonight is to recommend approval of the ordinance to City Council, not to approve it. We don't quite have that authority here at P&Z.
We can't do anything.
It has to go to council first, so say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can't approve it. We have to approve it moving to council. Okay, we may vote now. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries 6-0.
Commissioners, this item will be considered by the City Council, who will hold a second public hearing and make a final decision on Monday, March the 3rd, 2025 at 7:00 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, do we have any announcements?
Yes, we do have one announcement tonight. I would like to introduce members of the commission to our newest planner, Miss Lily Sutton, who has joined us. We're really excited to have her on our team. She's been here for 2 weeks. Yep, and so please do say hi to her before you leave this evening.
Thank you. Welcome to Lewisville.
Welcome.
We're glad you're here. These guys need help. Although we lost, we lost one, so we needed a replacement, and we're happy she's here. Thank you. In that case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Francesca, second by Ainsley. Vote now. We are adjourned.